Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchen, a cute bear. In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chapter 4 of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Ass.
Oh. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Washington Irving. Chapter 4. His schoolhouse was a low building of one large room, rudely constructed of logs, the windows partly glazed, and partly patched with leaves of old copy books. It was most ingeniously secured at vacant doors by a withe twisted in the handle of the door, and sticks set against the window shutters, so that though a thief might get in with perfect ease, he would find some embarrassment in getting out an idea most probably borrowed by the architect, Ross Van Houten, from the mystery of a nail pit. The schoolhouse stood in a rather lonely but pleasant situation, just at the foot of a woody hill, with a brook running close by, and a formidable birch tree growing at one end of it. From hence the low murmur of his pupils' voices, running over their lessons, might be heard in a drowsy summer's day, like the hum of a beehive, interrupted now and then by the authoritative voice of the master, in the tone of menacing command, or, peradventure, by the appalling sound of the birch, as he urged some tardy loiterer on the flowery path of knowledge. Truth to say, he was a conscientious man, and never bore in mind the golden maxim, spare the rod and spoil the child. Ishabel Crane's scholars certainly were not spoiled. I would now have it imagined, however, that he was one of those cruel potentates of the school who join the smart of their subjects. On the contrary, he administered justice with discrimination rather than severity, taking the burden off the backs of the weak and laying it on those of the strong. Your mere puny stripling, that once at the least flourish of the rod was passed by with indulgence, but the claims of justice were satisfied by inflicting a double portion on some little, tough wrong-headed, skirted the church in, who sulked and swallowed and grew dogged and sullen beneath the birch. All this he doing his duty by thy parents, and he never inflicted a chastisement without following it by the assurance, so consolatory to the smarting urchin, when school hours were over, he was even the companion and playmate of the larger boys, and on holiday afternoons would convoy some of the smaller ones home, who happened to have pretty sisters, or good housewives for mothers, noted for the comforts of the cupboard. Indeed, it moved him to keep on good terms with his pupils. The revenue arising from his school was small, and would have been scarcely sufficient to furnish him with daily bread, for he was a huge feeder, and the length had the dilating powers of an anaconda. But to help out his maintenance, he was, according to country custom in those parts, boarded and lodged at the houses of the farmers whose children he instructed. With these he lived successively a week at a time, thus going the rounds of the neighbourhood, with all his woolly effects tied up in a cotton handkerchief. To be continued.